Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of Nick's Hot Takes here on Pro Wrestling Unlimited. And I'm sorry if the audio quality doesn't sound good, if my voice doesn't sound good. I'm out of town, don't have my equipment, and I'm sick. So it's just a whole bunch of things that are super fantastic. But that's not going to stop us from doing a hot take today. And today's topic is going to be kind of a touchy one. Because when you pay for a ticket to a sporting event, you should be allowed to chant whatever you want. If you don't like a player, you can call him a f***ing asshole. If you don't like a player, you can say that he sucks, call him a bum. But in wrestling, see, that can either make or break a wrestler. If you haven't already guessed, today we're going to be talking about chanting in wrestling and how that could really build someone up or completely break somebody down. There's no in-between about it. Think of two things. Think of Daniel Bryan and the Yes Movement. Think of those. Think of who Daniel Bryan was and who Daniel Bryan became because of that whole yes movement. He got the crowd behind him. People started caring, therefore people started cheering. With the rise of specific things like with the internet, with, for more example, ECW, which started the you up chant, all that good stuff, you start to realize that these chants are either going to make a superstar known for something or make a superstar nothing just by cheering something. And it's kind of sad where you've got great talent, but while they're cutting a promo, in between each sentence, they're saying, "What?" Now, I know that that the what chant made Steve Austin, but what it's not going to make is this young guy trying to make his entry into the WWE, into wrestling, and he's getting bombarded with what chants in the middle of his promo, where this is his time to shine, but it's being hijacked by the crowd. And speaking of crowd hijacks, just think of WrestleMania. Think of the night after WrestleMania, that Monday Night Raw. It has now became, a beach ball. Became synopsis. Synopsis? That's not the word I'm looking for. A beach ball became just identical to the importance of the Raw after WrestleMania. They started bringing beach balls, chanting stuff like Jerry Lawler, JBL, RVD in matches they didn't like. That's not good. But you see, in wrestling, that is either going to make or break someone. In a baseball game, in a football game, in a basketball game, even in UFC, those don't matter because they're not scripted outcomes. And with baseball, you can chant, you could go to an A's game and say, "I f***ing hate the A's," and if the A's win, it's not because you said you hate them, it's because they were better in the end. But if you go to a WWE event and there's a section of people saying, "Hey, we really don't like Fandango, so let's cheer against Fandango." And guess what? Fandango is going to be hated by the fans, so it's not going to be good for him. It's this destructive kind of mindset that cheering can give, but it can also give a lot of good stuff. Like, for example, we had the Stone Cold Steve Austin and the what chant. We had, what else did we have? We had Daniel Bryan and the Yes Movement. We had people singing Fandango's theme. It became #1 in iTunes in the UK. Do you know what iTunes is? iTunes is where things like Drake lives. It's so crazy to think how much power we have. And sometimes that power is used negatively. Because we'll get stuff like Crowd of the Year when we're not the crowd of the year. We're breaking the system. We're ruining events because we felt bored. Because we felt like this match sucks, now we need to make it better. And I understand why we do that. I understand why that happens. And it goes to my point where fans in wrestlings are the reason why things happen. If you don't like someone and you let that be known, it's not going to happen. If you like someone and you cheer for that someone and you cheer for Daniel Bryan and you scream yes when he does it and the crowd erupts whenever he comes out, that's good. But even with the John Cena sucks chant, it's just, at this point, what are we chanting for? Are we chanting Roman sucks because Roman sucks, or is it because the guy next to me is chanting Roman sucks? It doesn't make sense. It's not making any sense at all. As wrestling fans, we need to understand that we have the potential to make superstars. We have the potential to take an NXT rookie talent who may not be perfect on the mic, who may not be, the best in backstage promos, but in the ring he's good, and we know he could be better on the mic. We need to start, giving him stuff instead of chanting what in between sentences. How about we just kind of keep it? I'm not gonna say shut the up and be quiet. I'm just saying, hey, why don't we keep it down a little bit? Let these guys do their thing. We have, as wrestling fans, too much responsibility to maintain. We can break wrestlers, we can make wrestlers, and there's no doubt about that. So with our abilities to jeer and to cheer, we need to use them wisely. Chanting what at guys like Jinder Mahal because he has an accent kind of makes sense. He's the heel, we don't like him, we're going to act like we don't understand him, we're going to chant what? Okay, but chanting what for a, Naomi promo? And speaking of Naomi, this is going to be next week's topic. I'm going to give you guys a little insight. You deserve it. Should that be a chant that is echoed through the crowd, that you deserve it? Can that really build up someone that shouldn't be built up? We'll talk about that next week, you guys. But for this hot take, I have been Nick. You can find me on Twitter at ArmWeek34. Also follow the podcast at the number 2 Man Show Podcast. That's at the 2 Man Show Podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening. Leave your comments down below on what you thought or possible ideas. I always read your guys' comments, and I love every single bit of them. Specifically, I don't remember your username by heart, but specifically the one that said, can't wait for more installments of this. You guys interacting with me makes me want to do this so much more. Send me tweets, write in the comments section, make your own tweets and send them to @ProWrestlingUnlimited, and make sure to add the hashtag #NicksHotTake. Thank you guys so much for listening. I have been Nick, and as always, I will talk to you guys so soon.